that are believing everything here, right? So they're manipulating the American public, yet we're still in a situation now where TikTok isn't banned. So every day that TikTok's allowed is another day that China pumps millions of dollars into information warfare to get into Americans' heads. Every day.
This wishy-washy approach that the current government has towards TikTok is pissing me off. Make up your mind. Seriously, you know it's bad for you. Stop screwing around. Stop it. It's bad. It's like a drug addict that's like, you know, pretending to quit, but at the same time, like mainlining heroin.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like, oh, don't worry, I'm recovering.
They wrap the syringe in tape. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like
it's like a brown paper bag with liquor.
Right, yeah.
No, I'm serious. It was bipartisan voted on to be banned.
Get rid of it.
It was already supposed to be banned. It has now been extended twice now.
Yeah.
I fail to understand how the law is not being upheld.
Yes.
Because now we have to deal with shit like this, which is usurping the efforts of the trade war and tariffs.
Yes.
This is actually being used as information warfare to not make the tariffs work. You see how this works?
Yes.
It has to go away.
Yeah, you know what this is? This a country of laws or a country of...
Stop. Get out of here. All right, let's keep factory.
Sure, exactly. Let's move on, shall we? Sorry. Now, something that's been going on in China. Sorry, over here.
The response to this trade war right now is people are making things could bald eagles
And singing these stupid Mao Zedong era...
about killing Americans.
Yes.
Like, while we here in America are like, dang, China's been cheating, they stole lots of IP. China's like, we need to kill Americans. We need to boil American eagles. We need to stand up and shoot.
Isn't that an endangered species?
I don't think so anymore. I think it's protected.
Oh, it's a protected species.
Sort of been.
Yeah.
Nobody in America is making videos of people boiling like an American eagle boiling pandas, and then playing propaganda era Mao music about how to destroy America.
Yeah.
This is where we're at. China is doing one thing in China, in acting like a peaceful, the good guy.
Sure. It's ridiculous, man. You know, we do have the option to boil pandas because there are some in America, aren't there, in some zoos?
I don't think we should boil pandas.
Probably
we
not.
Wouldn't, and no one would do that.
No, but the opportunity does exist.
It does, but no one's going to do it.
Sure.
No one's going to do it.
No, of course not. Yeah.
But they're bringing back some of the most horrific Mao-era propaganda.
Yeah, I mean,
for the destruction
can I
of
read
America.
this? Okay, I'll take this out. It says, in the face of the wolfish ambitions of American imperialism, we should keep the door open and fight to the end. We will fight as long as they want, until we achieve complete victory. A weak country has no diplomacy, so we should give a thumbs up to our strong motherland. Imagine this kind of rhetoric was being, said here.
It's so crazy how quickly the government, the CCP is 180 and be like, yeah, let's sacrifice hundreds of millions of Chinese people in conflict. We're ready to do that. You know what I mean? Like, we'll fight till the end.
Did that guy just shoot down a plane with a stupid machine gun?
He did.
By the way, I should probably fast forward because they always nail us for these stupid war of resistance crap.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, dude, now this guy's huge highlight. I know you might have thought that the bag thing was a highlight, but this is just as important. It's something you found. It's so good.
because I wanted to see what else is happening.
Sure.
I had a theory that the Chinese government's going to leverage this. You proved it to me on X. You said, look at all this bag douche.
Yeah, that guy sucks, by the way. I'm so tired of his face.
By, like, Chinese propaganda.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, what are they actually doing directly in China? And I got reports from people that we know that in China, they are running with this idea that America is completely collapsing because everyone is so worried they're not going to be able to buy Chinese goods anymore because Chinese goods are high quality.
Yes, and also the tariff because of the tariffs.
Because of the tariffs. So I started to look around and
Let's see what
found
we
a
find.
campaign. It's the same video over and over and over again.
So this is on Douyin, the Chinese TikTok.
Chinese TikTok, right?
And TikTok is Chinese too.
This is blonde woman doing her makeup, and they take one thing she says out of context and overlay it with footage of stuff that's not real.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some of these videos because they were going everywhere, and they combined this tariff fear, China's winning the trade war, all this kind of propaganda. they keep doing this quote, no middlemen anymore, and then they show a bunch of people walking around China with like a tour guide.
Yes.
Apparently rushing, they're flying to China to buy Chinese products. The tax return refund at departure is cheaper than buying in the US. No more middlemen making a profit. Right? See how this ties perfectly to the fake bag thing, the suppliers, the fake Lululemon. There's no middleman now. You should go directly to China and buy Chinese things, and then you don't have to worry about tariffs anymore.
Yes.
So this is crazy.
The Siglux, the tariff surge, 145%. And as you said, Americans are flying to China to buy Trump's products. Some of these Americans.
Tariffs soared to 145%. America started to travel to China in groups to buy goods. U.S. netizens. No more middlemen to make a profit from the price difference. See this bullshit?
Yeah.
I keep looking at this video.
I heard that
Yeah, let's listen to her.
Okay, let's listen.
the iPhone is going to go up to over $3,000. She might catch me in China soon.
And they keep taking these out of context, basically white people clips.
Yes.
Right? Like this guy touring to like
So
buy
cheap.
a trike.
Yes.
Anyway, tariffs soared to 145%. Americans began to travel to China.
In China, it's ridiculous.
That British guy?
Going to China, buy a bunch of stuff, and bring it tariff free. Buy a bunch of stuff and bring it.
So I'm looking. I start looking at this footage. I start eagle-eyeing, no pun intended. Boiled eagle-eyeing.
Yes.
And I'm like, they keep saying that Americans are rushing. I don't know any Americans.
Yeah, like
that
Americans
rushing
are
to
going in
China.
groups to go and
Right.
buy Chinese goods.
I don't know anyone.
No.
And everyone in China that I know keeps asking me if this is the case. Because they
Sure.
keep seeing this on the news and in viral video campaigns. And I start looking at this footage and I'm like, wait a minute, all of this footage is from different times?
Yes.
It's not from like recent trips. And I start looking at the tour groups that are rushing, these Americans rushing, and I look at people, I'm like, these don't really look like Americans. And then I notice the tour guy's got an Italian flag.
Yes, because it's an Italian tourist.
Go up to over $3,000. Going to China.
I zoomed in on this one. Look at this. It says tariff surge 145%. Americans are flying to China to buy Chinese products. The departure is the same shit, right?
Yeah.
And this is the footage has nothing to do with this. This one actually,
There's that little bit of white.
actually wrote it on that one.
In that tiny little bit of white. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, they
Over and over.
over and over.
These are all different videos, but over and over. They're rushing. Oh yeah, isn't
I
this
heard
my
that the
favorite?
iPhone's going to go up to over $3,000.
So look at this. Pause this. So Americans are flying to China to reverse trend of global consumption trends. See what they're trying to do here? And it starts to get more and more apparent. I let these go for about a day. And the later videos I got started to change rhetoric to be like, the trade war is actually reversing the trend. So now China will have trade surplus of this stuff because, or America will have trade surplus because then Americans will go and buy stuff in China directly anymore. And so all this stuff is going to disappear. Any reason for tariff is gone. Because Americans are getting on those planes.
Yeah, in groups.
And they're in big groups and they're going over there. Like,
By the eye of Agamotto!
again, if you've seen these Italian tours, which I thought was very, very, very funny.
It's the same footage all
It
the
is.
time.
It's the
They
same
keep showing
footage of
same footage.
Italian tour groups going to China. And I'm like, give me a break, guys. These aren't Americans.
No.
And they even put next to the flight, it says American.
With the amazing Spider-Man!
Yeah. They show footage of Italians. So I'm like, this is something.
It's
Well, this is what China is. Shout out to my Italian brother. I'm 1% Italian if I'm so you know what's funny is that this is one of many things. And this
so yeah, that basically the American Italian. Never mind. It's
That
like-
has nothing, by the way, the
Yes.
footage it has nothing to do with this current.
No, this
That's not happening.
there's footage of literally tour groups going through some of the
Yes.
cities, Italian tour groups, and they're using that saying
Pick your
Americans are
hero.
rushing to buy products.
Yes, correct.
I'm not judging.
So it
I'm not
actually
judging.
comes on the heels of
Quietly
this,
into the
Yes.
background.
where 500,000 people took to the streets in America. I don't know if you guys watch it from America, we're in America as well.
Yes. Do you remember? Do you remember
when
this?
this happened? Because we all rushed out, 500,000 of us, and more than 1,200 protests happened
one day?
across the country in one day. Do you know why?
Why?
Because of the Chinese tariffs.
Oh well, let's read everything. It says-
Everyone just rushed to protest Trump's tariffs on China because we all just hate it so much.
This clip was put out by Chinese state media.
Yes. Yeah.
I saw it being shared by Chinese state media. It was going viral on WeChat and Weibo and all this stuff. Okay, it says reciprocal
30
tariffs
seconds
will take
before you
effect on
attack.
April 9th.
Get ready.
And local people are worried about soaring prices and are frantically rushing to buy goods.
thought Hydra was some weird
500,000
experiments
people
on me,
marched. More than 1,200 protests in one day. The U.S. Treasury Secretary was reported to be unable to bear it and plans to resign. Okay, Wall Street Journal. Chinese-made TVs are out of
Battle starts in
stock.
5.
This is put out by official
I
media.
know. Is this not a good follow-up to what you were showing about Bad Guy?
Yeah.
There's
All
a
you need to do is
unified
capture the
front
mission
right
area.
now, united front from China, to make Chinese people think that everything is falling apart in America.
Yeah.
Trust China. We've already won this trade war. And then also to directly affect Americans through TikTok.
Yeah.
To be like, well, actually, we've already got this sorted out too. It's a two-front thing.
Yeah, so it says, according to the Wall Street Journal website, 50-year-old Peguero, after hearing the news about the tariffs, I took immediate action and spent about $3,000 from the evening of the 2nd to the morning of the 3rd. Okay,
Let's see it. Let's see.
let's see this.
Wow, look at those Americans buying all this.
Wow.
They just love football.
Look at that huge crowd going to buy Chinese products. All the empty shelves.
Dude, people fight over these Hisense TVs.
This is that Peguero guy. Why is he buying a crappy 40-inch Hisense TV from 2018?
Because he's not going to be able to anymore. You know why?
Why?
Because this footage is from 2008.
There's a Black Friday. They used Black Friday footage from 2018 of people rushing to buy like cheap TVs to say that's what's happening now.
Good top state media.
Yes.
You know what we named this video? They're lying. China is losing the trade war in a big way. I don't even need statistics at this point to know that China is screwed up.
Yes.
Because when you take your top state media and you're using Black Friday footage from 2018 to say that America was real,
Yes.
and that China's won the trade war and Americans are rushing to buy all this stuff, and then you do that fake bag campaign for TikTok, something was very
wrong. Yeah.
very wrong.
Well, let's see where this ended up. Take a look.
Deep freeze.
This footage. Okay, so this footage was viewed widely around China and also the diaspora. So Chinese people living in America were looking at the news, and one guy was like, "Hang on a second. Let me go look."
Pro-China.
This is a very pro-China guy.
He lives in America.
He's like, "Let me go look for myself. Like, I want to go see all this like looting and rioting and all this stuff. Let's see what he had to say. I'll get us out of there." Ordinary Americans are looting.
中国制造的商品，我看这新闻之后我就来补。
So it's like after I saw the news, I went to the store and found that.
其实这些玩具是民用品嘛，很多来自于国内，但是
It's not being bought out. It's fine. All the stuff's made in China.
因为我一听这个新闻，我就觉得好像是
Yeah.
有可能
This
是
is better than news. I felt like this story might have been exaggerated.
Do you know that quite a few of my acquaintances in China believe this?
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah, they send me messages.
Skeptical and they have to.
Yeah. They're like, wow, it's crazy over there for you guys, isn't it? By the way, this is... Yes. Okay, we live here in America. This didn't happen. Nobody was rushing to buy Chinese goods from the stores. No one.
Well, that's why they do 2018 was.
Yeah. Okay, there were no protests. There were no massive riots in the street.
A lot of people support the tariffs against China. I support Trump's tariffs against China.
Yep.
Nobody's protesting the tariffs against China in the streets.
Yeah, no one.
They're trying to make fetch happen is what they're trying to do.
Exactly. So this guy says, I thought maybe it might be exaggerated, so he's going to check it out himself.
这个事件被扩大了。为什么制造了很多的电视？
Lots of Chinese TVs are here. They're not being looted.
电视也没有。中国制造的行李箱
Yeah.
也没有说我们是
Target.
老百姓的超市 Target，我们超制造商品有很多都是中国制造，但是
Lots are made in China. It's
货架
fine.
满满
All the shelves are full.
锅
30 seconds
Pots
before
and
you
pans,
attack.
everything is here.
Get
都有
ready.
这些纺织品
All these textiles.
也都有货。
怎么？为什么我每次看
Why is it every time I watch the news,
Just listening to
it's
Khonshu
not
babbling
the
in my
same as
head.
what is actually happening? This is poetic.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a guy that's very supportive of China.
Yeah, he's a pro-China guy, but it's true. Every time you watch the Chinese news, it's just crap that they've made up to fit their narrative. It's not the truth.
It's
The battle
made
starts
up
in
for a
5,
reason. It's not
4,
like, oh, that's
3,
lazy journalism.
2,
It's made
1.
to F with
All you need
people's
to do is
minds
capture the
Yeah.
mission area.
and to control the
Got
world.
it?
It's so that people in China think they can feel better about their dire situation
Yeah.
that they're in, right? They could say, oh, look at those poor Americans suffering and rushing to buy our Chinese goods.
Yep.
When, you know, that never happened.
Yep.
See what else he has to say here.
跟实际发生了不大一样。
A nice deep
Yeah.
freeze.
He goes on. to talk.
But he goes to Costco, he goes to Target, he goes to like these big brand stores here in America, and there's no lines, no one's looting, no one's buying stuff.
No one wants. We were forced as Americans to buy Chinese junk.
Yeah.
We were forced to because of the way the globalism works, right? The way the trade is.
Look, it's like their eggs here, you know?
I mean, he's saying they are very expensive.
Yeah, but they're there.
They're there,
The
right?
Chinese news says there are no eggs.
There's none.
Yeah.
There's none. People are rioting over it. It's crazy. My point is, though, we were forced to buy Chinese products. Nobody wanted cheap Chinese products that fall apart. Nobody wanted to buy 5 items for the one screwdriver that they had that was made in America. My grandma.
Yeah.
I still have tools from my grandma.
Yeah, they still work totally fine. Every fixed cars with them.
They're fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy Chinese garbage, and I don't for the past how many 5-6 years we haven't bought Chinese.
Yeah, we make a conscious
Conscious
choice.
effort.
Yeah.
And it's hard because so much stuff is made there, but it's not something that people want, right? So this idea that China's proliferated, that Americans are dying for and want all these cheap Chinese goods is absolute bullshit.
It is. And again, this guy's just proven it by going there. I mean, we could prove it and go film in our local shops, but we don't want people to dox us, so we don't do it. But I can guarantee you that every single shop that I've been to, big box, small box, mom and pop, doesn't matter. There are no big queues of people trying to buy Chinese goods. And the Chinese state media is once again, it's just lying.
Yep.
You know? Okay, what we do, guys, this is where we talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China, a couple of important things. China-built airport in Nepal was littered with corruption.
Are you surprised?
No.
So China built this airport in Nepal. It has 1 flight a week. Nepal took out $216 million in loans
From China.
for the Belt Road, and
Rob.
almost nothing works. Almost nothing works. The construction of the airport's wrong.
They didn't
air
complete it.
conditioning.
Yeah, there's no heating, air conditioning.
Only 1 runway works out of the 2 because of safety concerns. So they have to pay back.
Yeah, they have to pay back this white elephant.
It was a white elephant. It was complete garbage. Bad tofu drag quality, and now Nepal regrets it. But their government is so embedded with China that they had to take the project. Let this be a warning. You do not take Belt and Road Initiative projects if you're another country. It's foolish. It's suicide.
Yeah,
It's dumb.
There's a link in the description right, to the article.
It's a great.
Yeah, you can see like everything that all the concrete was poor quality, the usual type of thing that you would expect with the Chinese neo-imperialist hegemonic whatever you want to add some more buzzwords into that. Yeah, but that's what they do.
I'll just read 1 quote. It's a massive scale of corrupt bureaucrats and politicians involved in the scams.
Yes.
There's protests in all about this. They were like, they have a communist government, so deeply embedded with China. People don't get a say. They don't want this crap.
No.
Another country's in debt. It's going to lose territory. They're going to cede territory to China eventually when they can't pay this stuff back.
That's how it goes. Yeah, that's how it goes. Every single time.
This was interesting.
It's very huge news, actually. This was in Chengdu, right?
Yes, this is something you do not.
Remember we showed Bannerman back in the day, the Shitong Bridge? That was incredible courage. He got carted away. This is a similar thing. Someone has dropped these banners of protest, which is very rare to see. And you've got the quote.
Yes, there will be no national rejuvenation without political system reform. People do not need a political party whose power is unchecked and whose responsibilities cannot be questioned. No one can point the country's way. Only democracy is rejuvenated.
fact that somebody has done this shows you that there's a lot of underlying unhappiness in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, very important news actually.
It is.
We would like to have done a bigger section on it, but we need more facts, and I think this is a bit developing.
Yes.
You know, we'll find out
Not
more.
that we'll ever know anything yet.
Possibly not.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's time for our Q&A, which is called Yamcha. This is where we answer your questions and you question our answers. It's Friday after all, so it's time to loosen the tie. Here's what's going to happen. This stays up on the weekend. It stays up live.
I like the cold.
But if you're watching us
30
on
seconds before you
Monday,
attack.
then
Get ready.
we bid you adieu. Stay awesome, and we'll see you next time. For everyone else, let's get stuck in.
Yes, please join us on patreon.com/ADB podcast for Xiaobanhao. You're going to want to see that, at least that one clip.
Yes.
Even if you sign up for one episode and then delete your subscription,
Sure.
do it for that.
Yeah, definitely.
The best ammo. If you people always ask us, can you give me something that's very succinct that I can convince people that are being tricked by China's propaganda?
Yeah.
It's that clip.
3,
Absolutely.
That's it.
2,
What do you got?
Philosophy says, do lottery jackpots get big in
capture the mission
China?
area. Got
They
it?
have like a welfare lottery, but it's not big.
Yeah, I guess. No, it's not even close. I mean, it gets like millions of RMB,
Yeah, that's it.
which is like maybe like $300. I'm kidding.
I like the cold.
Yeah, just kidding. 300,000.
Home power systems. That's awesome. Mike Stewart says, is Guangzhou a manufacturing center? Yes, big time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I noticed that AQICN data hasn't been updated in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Interesting.
Maybe they're like, well, you're going to put tariffs on us. We're not going to share our air quality anymore.
Remember we were doing those updates. I wonder if it's got anything to do with that.
Maybe.
Are they hiding something? I just.
Against the world!
Yeah, they're probably pumping out crazy amounts of pollution. Right?
Yeah, try to get things done just before the tariffs.
Yes, yes. First time live, Ross the Scum.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you for the tour.
Oh, yeah. I did it.
Oh, Alex Nagasaki says, my stepfather works on construction. He will have a heart attack, kidney failure, lung cancer, and die just looking at this China construction video.
I know. Anyone who works in construction, even if you don't work in construction, if you've ever like made something out of clay as a kid in an art class, will look at that and say that's wrong. You know?
Success is wishing a great weekend to all our Friday friends. If you have the means, join us for Xiaobanhao on Mondays. It's the best day of my week.
Thank you.
Great.
Again.
Thank you,
Wow.
Success. That's very nice to say, by the way. We love having Success on there. It's really like a tight-knit family, but it's not hard to get into.
Yeah.
Everyone's very welcoming, and it becomes a pool of inside jokes. It's so much fun.
Such a great community. There's some good pillars of the community in there. It's just so much fun.
Yes. World Eater 359, speaking of Della. Before I became a chef, I worked for a Chinese contractor in Boston, Chinatown. A lot of time they pay another contractor to use their licenses to have one of their guys do it.
The God of Thunder!
Yes. That's how things work.
That's very Chinese.
Some Josh saying, having a laugh at a monkey is into. I'll be working this into a sentence sometime.
Yep.
James Bond, Mihoshi is my favorite character. Rio is pretty cool. Big Bay Pencher.
Can't you smile?
And Behoshi's such an airhead, though.
Is that the cop?
Yeah, the blonde one.
I think she's my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to watch
Airhead?
Tenchi on Toonami
Okay,
back
interesting.
in the day.
Yeah. The TV series or the OVA?
Whatever one they had on TV. Zach says, you guys are the best. Funniest no comedy duo.
Oh, thank you.
Funniest no comedy duo. Thanks. Yeah, we're not a comedy show, but we like to incorporate some silly shenanigans and horseplay.
Life is too serious. You gotta try and spice it up with a bit of humor, or you get depressed.
And we're just not very serious people, we realize.
I don't know. I'm pretty serious.
Yeah, we laugh.
No, yeah. I mean, I've got a dog. Yes, that's right.
You got a regular one too.
True. Sometimes it makes itself known.
Sound like freaking beating the demons in the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I didn't need to come across as that. You know what I mean?
I know you. Yeah. Dark. Nobody knows my dark side.
Mission area.
Exactly.
Keep going.
You don't know the demons I face inside. Definitely not
fight
that.
it in game. Mike Tucker says, thanks, Winston. This is my opinion, even the Dominican Republic. Yes, a lot of Spanish language propaganda that I covered a few videos ago. They were using AI models to translate all their propaganda into Spanish and then pump it out into Spanish.
Isn't it crazy how quick and easy it was for us to debunk those videos? It took,
I mean,
you know, but I'm just saying, like, if you have enough time to put in a bit of effort, you can easily find out that Bag Douche is a liar and Rosie's a liar too. You know, it's pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah.
But then you have this situation where people just take it at face value and go with it. You know?
Doc Celtics, can I get a hand in the chat for all the chubs and hoes excited that we made it for another Friday?
Yes, absolutely. Hand in the chat.
Hand in the chat. This is like an inside joke.
Okay. Gotcha.
You guys, Anthony Saints. Hey, let's get this. Hey, let's get this show better. Angry Train Rider.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Here it comes.
Professor Right Tony M says thanks for keeping us informed.
You're welcome.
James 007 says thanks for last week's free Xiaobano. Thank you to the audience for
Oh yeah, you guys are awesome.
Turbo Keen. Enjoy the weekend, my dudes. Enjoy some cool drinks tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And actually that's gonna be related to
Yes, exactly. Yeah, well, some cool drinks, don't worry. Thank you.
the amount of tariff copium in China online is absolute bonkers. It's being covered by BYD EV propaganda mouse lab. Mouse lab.
Oh yeah, let's get a mouse step in there. We gotta find it. We got so many of these things to figure out.
哟，这么毛泽东啊！我杀你！
Got it.
Proxy says you guys are bringing up important issues. I've heard people at work talking about your content. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Light Seeker says, did you cover the CCP interference in Canadian elections? I didn't even hear about that.
We did hear about that.
I didn't.
Okay. Well, last week someone brought it up as well.
Oh, okay.